Welcome back, guys. Back into it again. I've got 5 days off work. Today I'm pretty washed out coming off nights, but yeah. I'm going to get into the wiring side of things. So I'll just go through what I've been looking into now. So on the cluster, I haven't got the fuel tank send unit hooked up, but I've just earthed it out. It works great. I'll go to the cluster and have a look at it. Can't really see it well, but so the voltmeter, this might be able to see it, but it's actually working. Voltmeter's working, fuel gauge is working, but I can't get the temperature and the oil pressure gauge to work. I've tried earthing them out, no go. So another thing I'll cover too before I go any further is someone in the glass video comments section, don't remember the usernames and all that, but they said for their might have been Combo Ford. I've been talking to a messenger that a while back, but he said use your coil wire to power up the EFI, the ECU, and I've tried doing that, but there's a massive voltage drop, so I just tried again, it didn't work. I think I've been looking at 2 different manuals, not the genuine Ford manual. I've got that on my computer. I should be looking at that really. Probably get it going soon actually. But so for the coil, and one from what I remember, the workshop manual I've got here, one of them comes directly from the ignition. So you get a solid 12 volt, and then another manual, it's more detailed. It says it comes from the voltage stabilizer. So maybe it breaks down the voltage for the coil to run the engine, and then there's another one that goes from the starter motor to the coil to give it solid 12 volts on cranking when you first start it to help with the cold starting. So I'm not too fussed about it, but I thought I'd cover that because I just looked into it then to just double check to make sure. Yeah, I've got to look into that a bit more, but there's a lot of little gremlins I've got to sort out. But this stuff, I like doing this sort of shit. Time consuming, but it's not hard work enough. It's just fiddly stuff. But getting back to that cluster, so the temperature, oil pressure, and fuel gauge, they work off the voltage stabilizer to break the voltage down, and then the temp, oil, and fuel, they just earth them out and the gauges come on. So for some unknown reason, the oil pressure and the temperature ones don't work. So I didn't want to do it, but I might have to remove the cluster and start testing stuff out. It's not unusual for the cluster to not work. It's just, 50-year-old car. So yeah, things like this happen. But the Escort, I got this place locally in Newcastle. They're called Nemes. But that's an Ford Escort RS 2000 cluster. And I didn't even bother trying to see if this worked. I just gave the whole cluster to them, and he got everything going, and he can change the tacho to work off like electronic or off the old style coil. But yeah, everything works on that. I sent it to them. It cost me about $450, and they rewound, done all the gauges, and yeah, it's been sweet ever since. But I'll be removing that cluster. I really love the old school look about them, but I'm going to put the Holtec Elite IC7 cluster in it because it's just more detailed information. But that's the beauty of this. And I've just got, it's great. It does everything on the screen here, so I can have that in the car whenever I'm running it if I want. I can take it out, but yeah, it's always going to be there, in case things go wrong. But so I think what I need to do, I want to know temperature, I want to know oil pressure, definitely oil pressure. I won't run the motor again for now, just leave it. But yeah, nice if I know I can get that oil pressure gauge working. But if it doesn't, I'll have to take those little gauges out, take them out, and then take them to Nemes and get them to rewind them. So that'll be probably 2 to 4 week wait, I reckon. But yeah, so what I might do now is remove the cluster and we'll have a look into it. So I'll show you as best I can. It's pretty straightforward actually. So if you look in here, hopefully the lighting's good enough, but you can see clearly there, that one there, right in the middle of the camera. You see the white, I think it's that one there, yep. You see a white that one right there. There's that white wire there. That goes to your oil pressure. Straightforward. So what we can do, we can test the voltage. Make sure it's getting voltage. It should, because it powers up the fuel gauge as well. So we'll test that, and I'll test, see that one right in the end there, you got the red, that one goes, that's your temperature. So I'll check that, and yeah, just to confirm, to see if it's actually getting voltage. If it doesn't, if everything's working in regards to voltage and everything, I know that the actual gauge itself needs to be looked into. It's a bit of a head bender. Tried looking at the Ford manual on my laptop, zoomed in, you can't read the actual colour of the wiring, the wires. And then I've got on my phone, zoomed right in, like you can really have a good look at it. I've looked at 2 different manuals. Apparently, this red wire, if I could show you, this lighting's an issue. There's a red wire, it goes and beyond the cluster, you can see it there, that red wire, that's meant to be brown, but it's red. So the oil and the temp don't work, but the fuel does, but the fuel gauge does. But there's a wire that goes into the back of that, the fuel gauge area, and it must feed the other 2. So I didn't want to do it, but I'm going to have to pull these gauges off this the shroud, wherever it is, so I can just access it, because I'm really struggling to be able to identify what's what. I just can't get in there, can't get this out properly enough. So I didn't have a steering column in it before, so it's heaps easier. Once I do that, I can look at it, because I see one of these terminals there. That one right in the centre, it's got a bit of rust on it, so it could just be a little bit of corrosion. But Eric's, you see it there, they got right in there, yellow, white, they got size identified. But yeah, this is a fiddly stuff, but everything else in the car from what I gather works. Like, there's not much that doesn't work. I'm really going to the door switches and on the driving lights and that, but yeah. Got in beyond the temperature gauge. It's got this little nut here. Very rusty. So then I looked at the terminal and it looked like shit. It was really, see, still is a little bit dirty, but I just use a file and gave it a clean up, and yeah, put that on there, earthed it out at the fuel gauge end, sending unit, and yeah, now I've got a temperature gauge. So I'll just screw that nut in, tighten it up, and then I'll test out the oil again and see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll do the same thing. But the oil one's just got a plug on it. So I'm gathering. Yeah, that shouldn't matter, but because it comes from a different source. Oh, see what happens. Bloody bingo! I didn't even do anything else. Just done that little nut up, and I've now got all oil pressure and temperature. At least it works. When I showed that, you see the voltmeters. It's happy. So I won't put this back in properly because it's giving me access to all these other ones for the alternator, seatbelt and all that. I'll concentrate. I'll just have to this next one's gonna be a pain in the ass because I have to pull the battery out, move this upper radiator hose out of the road, and get to this alternator, get to this connection to hook up the alternator wire. Then I'll that way, yeah, I should be able to turn ignition on. I should get alternator light, and when I start the engine, the alternator light should go out. But there's other things I need to address too. It's got horrible oil leaks, but that's just a usual thing when you first slap a motor, get little things go wrong. But I shouldn't really, but I don't build Cleveland to live in, so I don't know that much. But I also have to put, I went back to Autobahn. Oh, the oil's not here, but I took the old oil back for stuff I bought that was a PL5, and I've got this PL4 oil, so it's suitable for the top loader. So the top loader needs oil, the engine's sweet. Let's hook the wiring up, get this alternator working. I need to know that alternator is coming up, and I'll go through some of the other stuff, but yeah, I'll figure it out. So I've got the alternator out. So these ones, you can see them, they're all over eBay, just Aeroflow X Pro. So there's I think there's mine's the 100, I think mine's just this one here, I think 70 to 100 amp. You can get like really powerful ones, but I think the 100 amp should work for me. At the time I thought that's what I'd need. So if I was running twin pumps and twin thermos, I guess it'd be a problem for me. But so it tells you here, just get outlay there. So the red wire that goes straight to your battery, and this little plug here you pull off, and it gives you access to these terminals. So I'll just pull this off here. You've got the two there. So this one, I think this one here, it says R on it. Yeah, this one here. So that'll be me warning light for the alternator. So it should be, had it wiring out here before. I had it out here. Oh, it's not that one. Because I've got the battery out, it's mucked everything up. Yeah, these two here. So that one there's your that check engine light, the alternator light, and that there's the feed for the feed scat that goes straight to the battery. So yeah, that should be pretty straightforward. So what I'll do now, I'll just hook it up, throw this back in. You're working like a crane, this car, like everything's, you got to go bend right over this. I'm not really used to it. The Escort's easy, but yeah, all good. So I connect up the positive wire from the battery to the alternator and that other wire. And now when I put it on ignition, so I put it on ignition. Yep, got a light there now, so that's good. In reality, this car, like, although it's really severe rust, like a lot of the old coupes, hardtops, should say, a lot of people say, oh no, it's a hardtop, it's not a coupe, whatever. Yeah, because this car, like, it had severe rust, you'd assume that everything else is knackered, but it's not always the case. This car has only got 229,000 kilometres on it, so it's not a real lot. I mean, for a car at this stage, it probably isn't a sense, but so yeah, I can't expect any massive dramas of the wiring. So I've got oil pressure gauge working, temperature, fuel, voltage. Now I've got the alternator light. Yeah, so I should be able to start the engine up, and I should have everything I need working. But I haven't got water in the radiator yet, so I'm not going to go starting it anymore without water. I've got the fan. Now I've got this 4-blade buddy camera. I got this 4-blade one there. That was factory. That won't really cut it, I don't think. I mean, it was on here for the 302, so my brother's got the 7-blade over there. He said he's going to drop it off yesterday after he'd done his day shift, but he must have forgotten. I haven't heard anything from him. I haven't seen it laying around. So I think I might I'll put water in the cooling system, and yeah, put that fan on, put some oil in the top loader, and just have a look over a few things, and yeah, I'll give her a kick in the guts. And she's pretty freaking cranky on a cold start. It gets a big buck and chop idle sound. I'll show you shortly. Just putting this cluster surround in, and I didn't realise that I only had one screw holding it all in, and I'm like, I don't know where they are. Did they come with the car? I don't know, but they've got nothing. So I'm just going through. Got this Mark II Escort cluster bits and pieces, so I'm able to get these little screws. That one there, they fit perfectly. So I just need one more. They're all different sizes, but different lengths, I should say, but use those two, that should work, I reckon. But I'll just look at this now. So put on ignition. Alternator light, nice. So I got this filler plug out of the side of the top loader. If I get up in here and show you this. Can't really see well in there, but yeah, this plug side of it. Use the verniers, and yeah, 15mm fits perfectly. Along with probably where is it? Spanner 9/16 maybe. Yep, that should probably go in there a bit tight. Oh yeah, it'll go on. Righto. So I got that. Got this, is the oil I'm going to put in it. So I'll put 1.8 litres in it, as much as it'll take. I've noticed too the bloody pinion seal's leaking too. Bugger. I've got a new one actually. I put a whole kit for this diff. I put new bearings and that through the centre, but I didn't replace this pinion because I don't really want to undo this, because if you don't get it right, yeah, you can have all sorts of problems. But I was hoping I'd just wing it and just get away with the original, but yeah, it doesn't look so. Another job on the list, but for now, I'll just worry about getting this engine running and seeing how she goes. Oh, these little things. This little thing here, for some unknown reason, this is the one off the original 302 Cleveland. This doesn't fit. It doesn't go on, like it's just a little bit too tight, so I just had to take a little bit of meat off, and you have to be mindful you don't want to take too much meat off, because then it'll be out of round then. I mean, I don't think it'd be too dramatic anyway, but if it wasn't right, but I've just been using this one here and just put it there and just give it a quick hit, and it goes on now, so all good. She's ready to go. I've got the 4-blade fan on. It's pretty average, but the car's had all these years, it might be alright for a bit. Yeah, it's got coolant, like I'm full of water. I didn't put coolant in it because if it leaks, it's just going to be wasting it. Once I know it builds temperature, doesn't leak, then I'll add the coolant to it. Definitely doing that today. So, yeah, I've got the oil pressure hooked up, temperature. Hopefully we can get the alternator going sweet. But this this layout here for the aces, it'll indicate temperature, most of the voltage, all that sort of stuff. So if the temperature gets up, this is a dead set accurate way of doing it. The send unit for that's right next to where the one in for the cluster, right down in there. So she's a bit cranky on cold start. She might take 3 or 4 hits for it to really kick off, but it's just one of those things that this engine's got to be around. Like, I have to get out on the road and drive it and work it, and then it'll tune itself and find its desirable AFR, but it's got an idle air control. The government's the idle. It'll learn. But I think I've also got an idle screw there. I can turn it down a bit. Possibly. I know it runs the idle off the idle now, but something I'm going to tinker with. Someone said something about it had vacuum leaks, and the first place I look is right down in here. There's 3 ports there, 2 big ones and 1 small. They were all in place. I don't know why. It had a vacuum leak sort of sound. I don't know where it was coming from. The manifold might have a leak. I don't know. It's all sealed up, but who knows. But yeah, I'll just run up now and this thing here too. That there goes to your transmission. So one of them's for the neutral safety, and the other one's for reverse. So I was at Repco, had to go in and get a couple of clamps off for the radiator hose. I used them on the Escort. So I got these. You get these in Repco and J-Car. Don't know about it anywhere else, but yeah, so there, you just plug them into it. They're sweet, they're sweet. Already used them already on this one. Righto, see how she goes. She's running very rich. She's running very rich. There is a bit of a noise coming from the motor. I don't know what the hell it is. The oil pressure's good. Just got to warm up now. Very, very rich. Very rich. Just got to stall. The motor's flooding up. Like smoke's coming off the extractors. I might just switch it down for a bit. Just let it sit for a bit, let that exhaust extractors burn off. Yeah, it's bloody. I'll do that for a bit. Everything's sweet. There's that much air going through this fan. It's unreal. I can't imagine it getting hot anytime soon. It's got a bit of lift and knock. I'll show you. You might be able to pick up too well on the camera. But in there somewhere. When you rev it, it goes away. Very rich. Temperature's perfect. Oil pressure's good. But there's your temperature. So I think the thermostat's around 88. I don't even remember, but it's that bloody lifter in there making a racket. Probably out of adjustment, I don't know. But there's no leaks I can see, like no water leaks, so I'll add coolant to it. It's running really good, like a bit of rich obviously, but I had this idea in my head it was going to overheat, but the amount of that fan, once you pick the revs up, so much air comes out of it. See how high it gets up there. Not happy. Sound like a vacuum leak. You hear that? Definitely sounds like a vacuum leak. I don't know where from, but need to investigate. You might wrap this video up, just a little sweet short one, just a day video. Usually I stack them up after a few days, but I think I'll just keep them rolling. Keep you up to date with what's going on. So it's definitely got a horrible lift and knock going from this right end bank. So I've got to work out, one of the lifters might be out of adjustment. I've got to look into that. The coolant system's holding up sweet. It's going really good. It's got coolant in it now, so yeah, so that's good. But I need to hook up. I've got the heat. I've got that heater core. I've had to solder that up. I accidentally cut it when I was doing supper, but I've soldered it up. I pressure tested it. I've done a video on it in the past. I didn't put massive pressure into it, but it's I've got it now. I know the coolant system's holding up. I'll have to test out. I'll hook up the pipework to it and actually physically test it to make sure it's holding up. That's one of the jobs I need to do. But obviously now I've got the motor running. I've got all pressure sensor working. I've got coolant. The alternator's charging. The alternator light's going out. It's all happy. It's all good. I have to figure out what's going on with the tacho. That'll be one of these wires will come off and feed that. Oh, shit, that's something I'll probably do soon, actually. I was thinking of, when I went to BCF, boating, camping, fishing, a local store, they got this special, like wiring insulator, something you run on the outside, and it can easily just tuck wires inside it. I might get that. That way I can, I want to get this thing to the point where I can back it in out of the driveway here, just get it rolling, test the brakes out, test out the clutch. But I'm not too fussed on, I'll need to look into it and work out how I'm going to run the tacho. I don't know, this tacho might need a conversion, I'm not sure. They'll have to go through the ACES EFI and look at their resources and stuff and see what they've got in there, information-wise. Yeah, just gotta run. It's got wicked oil leaks, but I reckon I'll get the car up in the hoist and get under it and actually physically look at it and see where the oil's come from, and I'll have it so that I can turn it off under the car too, so in case of emergency I can easily shut it down, you know. Yeah, I think that'll be all these little things now. I've got to put these special, I've got the leads are just numbered by masking tape, so I've got to get these special duty whacker. It's numbered leads, so you put it over like that, and you pop these off from the appropriate leads. I have to do that yet. I have to work out how they retain these leads. There's all these little things I need to do, but it has got a vacuum leak too, but it comes and goes as it pleases. I'm just not sure. I need to nut that out. I need to take that air filler off so I can really get in there and might be able to work out where it's coming from. I suspect it might be the inlet manifold. If it's been machined and it's not perfectly in V, sometimes you're going to have issues, I reckon, but that'd be pretty dramatic for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just need to tidy everything up. It's just so messy. I need to get rid of that damn lift and knock back. That's horrible. It's really loud. It's not going away. It's just staying there. But yeah. Righto, guys. I got some more time off work. And I've been sharing stuff on Facebook. So when you start doing that, people start wanting to look at what you got. So all good. Right, I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for watching.